Okay, all right. Let's see, give me one sec. Okay, stay pinned. Oh yeah, I'm good. Cool. Can you hear me fine, Germ? Oh shoot. It says I'm you. Okay. All right. We'll be starting in about 10 minutes. To those of you guys joining up right now, we'll be starting in about 9 minutes. We'll get everything started, but until then, I'll let everybody trickle in. We'll get started shortly. To those of you joining, we're still waiting for the last few to trickle in. We still have like 6 minutes until the call starts. So I am here. You're in the right call on the right Zoom. We're just looking to start in probably the next 6 minutes. Again, to those of y'all still joining, I'm waiting a few minutes to get everything started for everybody to trickle in. You'll hear some nice background music, some ambiance in the background. But yes, I am here. You're in the right call. We'll be getting started in a few. All right, all right. Let's get into it. We got a couple minutes, but what's going on, guys? Don't mind me. Just got done playing some pickleball in the league pickleball a few minutes ago, but I'm waiting for everybody to start trickling now. Everybody likes to pop up last minute, but feel free to let me know if you guys have any questions before we get started in the next 2 minutes because we will be as you guys know, we have limited time. We have limited time going forward, especially please keep the Q&A to the end. We'll keep the Q&A to the end because I'm going to go over a lot of good game. I'm super excited to let you guys know about futures, the ins, the outs of it in an efficient manner. So, um, yeah, I'm really excited. Hey, Dustin, lost count of how many I've blown, but like, look, you're going to be all right. I promise you. Everything is going to be okay. But here we are. We're going to get started shortly. Sarah, cool. That'll do. Cool, cool. Everybody's still joining up. I'll give us probably one more minute, and we're gonna start. All right, let's make sure. And can everybody hear me fine before I get started? If so, let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes. Give me anything, and we'll be good to go. All right, perfect, perfect, perfect. What's going on, Dave, Todd, Catherine, everybody else? Appreciate you guys showing up at 5 p.m. or 6 p.m., 7 p.m., 8 p.m., whatever time zone you're in. I'm on East Coast, so I'm glad. I'm glad you guys can hear me, but we are gonna get into it. Got most of the people that's shown up. We are now at 8 o'clock EST on the dot. But yes, first things first. I wish I could go through everything, every concept in this 30 minutes, but unfortunately I cannot. But I'm gonna give you guys a good game, a little bit of the sauce, educate you a little bit about futures itself, prop firms, things of that nature, but something to be really excited about. Um, because honestly, futures would change my life. I've traded both options and futures. Both are great, but futures really took it to another level for me. Essentially, you use a lot less money to make more, which sounds crazy, but we're going to get into it. And I'll start sharing my screen, all that in a good bit. But right now, what I want you guys to know about futures, it's a lot different in terms of just instead of trading individual stocks, we're trading indices. Or a lot of the things are physical things that you can trade. For example, you can trade anything from gold and silver to cattle, corn prices, everything, all the types of extremes. For me, I strictly trade NQ, which is the equivalent to QQQ, which kind of goes hand in hand with S&P, with the S&P, things of that nature. But yes, I focus on one chart a day. I focus on one ticker, which is NQ. Basically, I'm trading the movement of the entire stock market as opposed to the movement of individual stocks, which I like just because it allows me to have a main focus. Um, Really, I don't have to have a million charts, one chart, and I'm fine. I can see everything. You can only see my profile picture. Okay, hold on. Can you guys see me? Can anybody else see me before I continue? Okay, everybody else can see me. I'm good. Maybe you might have to swipe a little or something else. I'm sorry. I just appreciate you, Everett. But I can I wish I could help you with that. But yes, we're gonna get into futures, contract sizing, all of that good stuff. I'm gonna start screen sharing here in a second though to really go over a few of these to give you guys a little bit of an idea. Let's see, where did Zoom go? All right, perfect. All right, here we are. So essentially, this is what my contracts, I mean, not contracts, it's what my screen looks like, what my charts look like. I'm sure craziness to many of you, but it will make sense down the line, giving you a little bit of the information. If you guys have so many questions and all that, me going over everything full fledged, piece by piece, part by part, so wrapped up in a nice bow. But yeah, we're gonna get into it today. So essentially, what I want to go over is kind of contract sizing, leverage, and risk control. So with the contracts specifically, let me go to paper trading here just to give you guys an example. But there are two different types of contracts when trading NQ. One is minis and another is micros. So I know it sounds weird and it can really be confusing because they both sound very small, but minis are actually the larger type of contracts. Micros are the smaller contract. So a mini is typically worth around $1,000. As we can see here, it's currently worth around $1,012 to be exact. And a micro is worth a tenth of that. So it takes 10 micros to make up one mini. Now, with that being said, with this math, we divide that by 10. That's 101.25 basically. So a micro is worth $101 as opposed to a mini contract is worth $1,000. Now it only has your profile picture above your screen share. Hey, as long as you guys can hear me, we should be fine. Let's focus on the screen. We should be good. Um, Nonetheless, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But yes, minis are worth around $1,000. Micros are worth around $100. Both are great. Of course, micros, you have more freedom to where you can trade in different increments. You could trade 5 by 5, sevens, tens, anything in between. In minis, you have less of that flexibility. Um, but yeah, that's just to give you a little something there. Now, also risk management, risk control. So we have here where basically what I strictly use, I don't enter with market orders. I only enter with limit orders. So let's say, for example, here, if I was looking for a potential sell or if I was to look for price to go down, I can click and drag whatever stop loss I want. Let's say I'm risking 250 to make 1,000, right? I drag it here and here. It enters me wherever my limit is, my limit order when price hits it. And then either it's going to hit my stop loss or it's going to hit my take profit. What this allows us to do, and the feature I really like, is it allows you to kind of drag and drop over time. And I'll show you here. Let's say I hit sell. So I'm not in the trade yet because price didn't hit my level. So typically, I would have got in probably when price was above it. But here, it doesn't let me in unless it hits that level. And it might hit it here in a second, just to show you guys an example. We're getting close. Maybe right there, one more tick. But yes, risk management is a key. It's a key because price moves fast. Not right now at this time of day, but typically when I trade it between 9:30 and 10:30, you guys can see it was kind of a rocket ship, a pullback. It was a lot going on earlier in the day. But nonetheless, this is really great. I love limit orders because for me, I can't, it's not possible for me to lose anything more than 260 in this example. And if price goes to where I want it to go, I'm making 985. That's damn near a 1 to 4 risk to reward there. Now, really, futures markets, they move at a fast pace. They move faster in general. But what I really wanted to go over today was prop firms and how they work. I love prop firms. It was a game changer for me. I know you guys probably think if you want to make $1,000 a day or above, you need at least $10,000 in an account. And that's true in some cases, but just not with the way futures works and prop firms themselves. Um, so the cool thing about prop firms is essentially we pay small amounts of money to gain access to trading with larger amounts of money. And to get into that, essentially, like typically for a 50K account, I am only paying around $100 roughly, 125. I'll give you guys an example here. Tradeify is a very highly reputable prop firm. As you see, they run deals all the time. But basically, I want to go to, if the ads stop popping up here, I want to go to the option where it says get funded to explain these how they work. So here we have the select 50K account, $111 after a discount. So with that being said, there's a set of rules. So you go through an evaluation first before it allows you to trade and get real profits. But with this evaluation, we have a profit target and a max loss. So here our profit target's $2,500 to pass, but we must get that before having any $2,000 loss total throughout the process. Now we also have a consistency rule, which basically they want to see that you're consistent. So they want to see that you can your biggest day isn't larger than 40% of the total 2,500. So no day could be larger than 1,000 in this process, which means it takes 3 days minimum to pass an account. Now, as you guys remembered, I said each mini was worth $1,000. Each micro was worth 100. So with that $100, they allow us to trade with up to 4 minis or 40 micros, up to $4,000. Let's say we pass these accounts. Awesome. Now we're in the big leagues where it actually counts. So now we have access essentially to trade with $4,000 with these prop firms off of a $111 investment. Also, once you pass that per month, that subscription, it drops. There's no other fees as soon as you pass the evaluation. So it's really cool because we have what is, just think if $100 can allow you $4,000 to trade with, then when you start copy trading accounts, which is possible, it's what I do. This is where maybe I buy multiple 50K accounts. Let's say I buy three for $333 exactly. Now instead of $4,000, I can trade with $12,000 off of $333 total. Now, when I typically want to pay myself, there's a caveat. Typically, between different prop firms, we have an 80-20 split or a 90-10 split, where it's always in our favor. So with a 90-10 split, basically, let's say I go to pay myself $2,000, they get 200, I get 1,800. But at the end of the day, I only paid $100 for this account. So that's why it was game changing for me. I copy trade 5 accounts. So let's say I have a $500 day in profits with 5 accounts. I made $2,500 with doing the same amount of work, but just having more accounts connected on the back end. So that's why futures is so crazy because it's really kind of uncapped. Scaling up only costs $100 at a time, as opposed to, yeah, like for example, let's say I go from 1 account to 2 accounts. That goes from allowing me to trade with up to from $4,000 to $8,000. Now, if I wanted to, and that's $200 all in, $222 here. Now, if on a cash account, I wanted to double my position size, I would have to go from $4,000 of my own capital to $8,000. So now that is $8,000 I am risking, as opposed to here, I'm all in with $222. And let's say I blow the account, I hit that max $2,000. This isn't $2,000 that I'm out of. So essentially, with this, I'm not out of that 2K because I only invested the 100, and it's simulated. The evaluation is simulated. So it's not like you're losing the company money, but it's great because we get to use, essentially, I like to say it's like in real estate when you're doing flips or wholesaling, things like that, you're using other people's money. It's the same thing for the prop firms, but it's with the companies. So at most, we're risking the $111 we use to buy the account. Um, and really, it's uncapped potential to what we can make, what we can pay ourselves, which is a beautiful thing. Obviously, there's just a set amount of rules that you have to make. You have to trade smart with proper risk management, but it really is, it's game changing. Like it really, really is. And that's why I love it so much. That's why I like teaching people. I believe it's the equalizer to those who might have 50K to trade within their account, as opposed to somebody that can put a couple $100 aside and be able to trade with that money. So I think it's definitely, definitely something, as you can see, I'm very passionate about because it changes lives. It really does. And you'll see there's even different options here with if you decide you want to pay yourself daily or on the flex plan daily, you can pay yourself daily $1,000 per account. So let's say you have 5 accounts, you can pay yourself 5K a day or every 5 days, $3,000 every 5 days. So that's on a weekly scale. Now there's no consistency on either of these, but you see there's a daily loss limit of $1,000 here with a max drawdown of $2,000. So a max loss of 2,000. But there's a lot of different prop firms, a lot of different rules that I'll go over a plethora of times. But prop firms are really cool. I don't want to go over them too crazy or overwhelm you guys, but they are great. I love them. They changed my life, and I think they can change yours. But I have one more thing to go over before I start fielding questions for you guys. But I just want to talk about building discipline. Because a lot of people, whether you've been in trading for a while or you're just getting started, um, you're going to realize what I like to say is trading is the hardest way to make easy money because it's what's the 6 inches between your ears. It's essentially just you versus you, and there's nobody else to blame for any outcome but yourself. And that could be hard. It could be taxing. It could take a toll on some people's mental, but you have to be able to be really neutral and understand if I stick to my rules, if I'm only taking A plus setups, good things will happen. And when I say an A plus setup, it's just when you learn certain strategies, certain concepts that you are literally taking what the textbook says, what it says word for word on the page. You see that setup, you take it. If you don't see it, you don't take it. Some days you might not see a setup, and you have to be okay with not taking a trade that day, which can be hard for a lot of people, clocking into work and not making any money when you're watching. But what I believe is cash in hand is way better than losing money. I'd rather end the day with exactly what I started with as opposed to losing because I forced a trade. But discipline comes from honestly what you do outside of the charts. I think that's extremely important before I get into it. I know some of you want to see my face again. So, but discipline comes from outside of the charts, how your nightly routine is, how your daily routine is, how composed, calm your household is, making sure maybe, I know a lot of you may have kids, putting the kids to sleep on time the night before, taking your time to decompress the night before, getting a full night's rest, and then in the morning, you have a dialed morning routine. If a fly was on the wall, it looks like you're doing the same thing every day. You're controlling what you can control before the market opens. So that way our nerves are calm, we're at neutral before anything. There's not chaos. We're not rolling out of bed, one eye open, trying to see the charts and force a trade. We are literally at control, at ease. We're in a neutral state of mind. When your life is chaotic, the charts and the trends you see, the way you act is going to be sporadic. Sporadic. It's going to be chaotic like everything else. But you must make sure you keep things it's neutral because life can be crazy sometimes. I get it. A lot happens. Tragedy, trauma, surprising things pop up. And when they do, also allow yourself to take the day off. Discipline is taking the day off when mentally you know you don't feel good, and that's going to translate to the market. There's big moves every day. It's what I tell myself day in and day out. There's big moves every day. So if I miss today's, who cares? I'll catch tomorrow's all the time. That's what I tell myself consistently. And I'm not perfect, just like any of you guys. I have to remind myself, I have to repeat these things aloud. I have to make sure I am in the mindset that I feel good about today. I went to sleep how I was supposed to. I ate breakfast this morning. I did everything I was supposed to because I can't control what happens in the market, but I can for sure analyze it and execute when my setups do show themselves, do present themselves. And when they don't, I just don't take a trade. When I have a great win, close my computer. When I lose two in a row, close my computer. And we just go from there. But it's really just like I said, it's between the ears. It really is. That's where the discipline's gonna come. You guys are gonna learn a lot more over time. Obviously, this is what I can have in this 30-minute time frame, but I did want to leave room for questions. So if you guys do have any questions before I get started, we can. All right, Steven, first one. Does Thinkorswim support futures, or is that on TradingView, or just preference? So you can trade it on Thinkorswim. It'll just be with a cash account. So you can't trade with the prop firms through Thinkorswim. You'll just have to put your own cash and your own capital. But on TradingView, you can connect it to another broker called Tradevate, which actually allowed you to trade with the prop firms themselves. So that's how that works essentially. Let me know if you guys have any other questions before I move forward. Who you using for a prop firm right now? Do you like daily or weekly payouts? I like payouts daily, honestly. Day to day, I just like having that freedom to. I don't pay myself every day. I pay myself every Friday, but I still just like having the opportunity. Let's say what happened a few weeks ago. I booked a trip to Cabo, and it was just like a random Wednesday. I was like, all right, I want to cover this trip, so I paid myself 1,500 on a random Wednesday, and I just had the ability to do that. So that's really what I like is having the freedom to, where it's almost like having a cash account. Um, and yeah, mine top, I love Tradeify. Tradeify is a good one. They have really lenient rules. They have good rules, live funded futures, things of that nature. But Tradeify is up there for sure. But daily or weekly payouts, it all depends on what type of person you are, what your needs are, how many accounts you may have, things like that, things of that nature. But yeah, it's all really preference. Any other questions? Any other questions? Copy trading, I use a there's a website called tradesinker.com. I pay about $50 a month for it. And essentially you log in through your broker. It shows all your accounts. You select one as a leader and then put all the others to follow it. And automatically when you're trading your leader account on TradingView, on the back end without us seeing, all the other accounts are following exactly what you're doing. So you're not doing any more work. You're just trading the same exact way. And you'll just see when it pops up, okay, at a $900 profit trade, 900, 900, 900, 900, 900. Super convenient. What's the best prop firm you feel is good for a beginner to try? Again, Tradeify is a great one, as well as my funded futures, I believe. Any prop firm I use is going to be beginner friendly. Like if it's beginner friendly, it's veteran friendly, intermediate, advanced, whatever you want to put it. Did you learn to trade before? Uncommon. How long have you been in the game? So, these questions are coming in. Let's see. Don't you have to pass the prop firm evals before they give you money? Yep, exactly, Jessica. If you don't pass, you're out of $100, and if you want another chance, pay $100. As opposed to, let's say you put cash in an account, $3,000 in a brokerage, and you blow your account, you lose $3,000. So for me, I don't mind losing $100 as opposed to that 3,000 because when I was younger, I absolutely was losing 3K at a time before I had any guidance. Um, did you learn to trade before Uncommon? Really, I wouldn't say I learned the proper way. I was 18 in 2020. It was during COVID. I couldn't make any money getting out the house. So I'm like, let me put $1,000 into this options account. Turn 1K into 5K in a week. Next week, blew it all. No guidance. I blew my account. I blew my 5K account. And, but I saw the opportunity and it really attracted me more, oddly enough, where I was just like, this is going to be it for me. I was 18. Like, I need to make more money so I can trade. And prop firms and futures wasn't really popular back then. Because if it was, I would have been on it. I would have been on it like lint on denim. But when Uncommon came, it honestly gave me, that was 3 years ago. when I ran into Jeremy and Uncommon, and that's what changed the game. I had guidance, I had rules to abide by the community, and now, long story short, I teach within Uncommon, and this is my full time thing. I spend an hour a day trading, so it's been a blessing, a huge blessing. Definitely changed my life. Was the single greatest investment I ever put into myself. Um, so you guys see it here today. What I paid for the mastermind is slightly above average day of profits for me now. Um, so definitely a blessing, and I'm so glad I stuck through it. Let's see, anything else I'm missing? Using for a prop firm, best prop firm you feel is good. Don't you have to pass the prop firm? Yup. Did you learn to trade? Yup, yup, yup. All right. Any other questions? Please throw them all out there. I promise you, no such thing as a stupid question with me. I'm here to help all 50 of you guys. Like, this is strictly for you. So whatever any of the wildest questions you guys may have, ask them, please. Do you have a preference for trading bias in terms of like, are you saying do I check to see if I'm bullish or bearish day to day, or what is your question concerning that? Like, um, if you're saying I prefer to go long or no preference at all. If I see something, I take it. I'm a shark in the water. If I see a good setup for longs, if I see a good setup for shorts, I'm taking it. I have no bias at all. No, you said it moves much faster, but do you use some of the very same principles and or setups? Absolutely, Steven. I use all the same principles, all the same strategies. It just moves faster. So risk management's a little bit tighter. My stop losses might be tighter, but it's all the same exact thing. It's transferable from options all the way to futures. Um, yeah, it's all transferable. That's what I love. So when I switched from options to futures, I didn't have to go to anybody new to learn. I used the same setups and it just worked. What was the name of that website that does the copy trade again? Tradesinker.com. What's the top three stocks I should be on while trading futures? I trade NQ, which is the movement. That's NASDAQ. It's the equivalent to QQQ. It's the only thing I trade. But besides that, I would ES, which is SPY. That's the S&P. So if you want those two, that is the only two you'll ever need. But I literally only trade NQ. I trade one ticker every single day. So it's very simple. It's a simplified process. You don't have to look at a million charts. You don't need 17 monitors. With a MacBook, you can get to work. Would you recommend paper trading for some time before going to pay and test for prop for money? Yes, Kyle, absolutely. Just even if it's a week, 2 weeks, really, it's just to, I would say, get the hang of execution first off. Executing when within the stock market, getting comfortable with seeing how the trades move, your stops getting hit, take profits getting hit because it moves fast. So it's kind of like you're just dipping your toes in, getting comfortable with how the market's moving. So it's not a culture shock when you get to the prop firm. So the paper trading is good for that stuff. I would say don't paper trade too long because you still need to feel the true raw emotions of when you're getting into the market itself. Um, Hopefully that answered your question there. You stay with the 5 minute time frame, James. 90% of the time, I'll check. Larger time frames. Pre market, all of that good stuff. But for the most part, I'm on the 5 minute time frame when I'm executing trades, entering and exiting them. Recommended time to trade. So I'm Eastern Standard Time. I trade strictly between 9:30 and 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So an hour and a half max. I'm in the markets day to day, and that's maximum. You'll see some people are damn near turning trading when they're starting off into a 9 to 5. They will be on from 9:30 to 4 p.m. And I think that's counterintuitive, and you get screen fatigue. You'll look like a zombie staring at the charts for hours on end. I don't trade pre-market, honestly, John. I came from options. I always traded between these hours. I love the volatility. I love the volume that comes in. There really is no volume pre-market. So I like when the action. I like lights, camera, action. That's when I thrive. On me, I use the same strategies I use in Uncommon when I was trading options as I do for futures. So it's all completely transferable. Um, so yeah, what you learn from the options portion is going to be transferable when you're going in the future. So it's not like two completely different languages. They actually seamlessly blend into one, which is going to help you guys a lot. I'm loving these questions though. What's been your biggest day? I've had a handful of 11K days, um, very recently actually, but yeah, I've had a few 10, 11K days. My first 30K day is coming though. I feel it. It's just from holding the trade longer. That's all. Is trading the first 15 minutes recommended, Brett? That's a funny and great question because I typically do not trade the first 15 minutes of the market open. I like to let it pick a side or a trend, maybe settle for a little bit in the first 15. And then I might take action after that when I see a clear setup. So for me personally, I'm not the guy to ask if you want to trade in the first 15 minutes. I stay against it. John is coming, I hope that for everybody, but way I feel it's inevitable. Super excited for it. And again, futures just gives me the ability to have days like that. But the numbers can get ridiculous, and it's good to ground yourself every day and understand like just because yesterday was a big day means nothing about today. You show up like nothing ever happened every single day. I think that's extremely important. But yes, we have a few more minutes for questions. So if you guys have any last minute questions, make sure to get them out the way now. Um, does pineapple belong on pizza? Absolutely not. And I'm judging any of you that like pineapple on pizza. They should be separate at all time. Yeah, you can follow me on you can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram. Oh, you guys only see me as Jeremy Lieber right now, but my Instagram is my full name. Not hard to find. Jaden Beard. That's my name, by the way. If I didn't introduce myself, I'll just put it in the chat. Um, let's see. Are futures better than contracts? Are futures better than options? I think I'm gonna let you retype that. I think you messed up. What is the best strategy when deciding to hold some futures long? Honestly, I love a good continuation play. We have a strategy called RBR, which basically price taking off, has a pullback at a certain level. I get some confirmation to take the continuation, but the biggest moves I catch are typically on my continuation moves. Um, why did you choose to go to futures? Honestly, Becky, I just put two and two together and I put my pride to the side. I said I could put a lot less of my money up to make more. After that, I mean, I was sold. With prop firms, they sold me pretty quick after I looked into them. Apart from the pay to get a funded account, is there any other risk of your own funds? No. So that $100 you put in is the max you can lose, but it's basically like uncapped what you can make from them. Um, why did you choose to go futures? I answered that one. Answered those. Do you use only technical analysis for trade setups? Absolutely. I don't watch the news. Like I don't watch the news at all. Honestly, in my opinion, there's only negativity in the news. You never see anything good. But I'm always aware of like big economic events day to day. I'll check the economic calendar, and I'll see myself like, okay, there's PMI, there's CPI, FOMC, somebody speaking, stuff like that. But besides that, it's all technical analysis. I react from what the market gives me. I take what the market gives me, point blank. If someone doesn't own a laptop at the moment, what's the best way to trade on the cell phone? On a use TradingView, the TradingView app. I know a lot of people that trade on their iPad or on their phone through TradingView. Obviously, much smaller screen. You have to be nimble with your fingers, but you can absolutely make it work. So the TradingView app, great user interface, still works just as well. Yep, yep. These are all great questions. All right, we are towards the end of this call, but I will give us an extra 2 minutes. If anybody else has any questions, you got 2 minutes to ask. I've really appreciated all you guys showing up so far, though, on this call. Thank you all. I hope it has given you some nice little insight, answered any just burning questions that have been on your mind, but no problem at all. If you have no more questions, you are free to go. You're dismissed. But if you have, I'm not sure what the program itself is selling for as of now, but if you guys have questions, there's the link in the bio to talk to people about it that can work with you on price, things of that nature. Where am I from? I'm from outside of Philly, originally, but I'm an Air Force brat. So I was born in North Carolina, and I moved to Germany, then Ohio, then Arkansas, Pennsylvania. That's where what I claim. That's where I lived outside of Philly the longest of my life. And as an adult, at 19, I moved to Florida. Then I moved to Georgia, and then North Carolina, and now I'm in Ohio. I've been everywhere. Do you have any preferences on laptops? I've only used Mac. I'm an Apple guy. I can't give you anything other than that. They restrict trading for FOMC and other events. James, typically you can't trade within 1 minute of FOMC, which I don't have a problem with. Um, you can't trade a minute before, a minute after. Then after that, it's free game. Do you have calls and puts with futures like options, or it works more like stocks? So yeah, it's the same exact way. But instead of calls and puts, I call them longs and shorts. Longs are calls, shorts are puts. Um, but it's just a buy and sell button. It's much simpler than trading options themselves and stocks. Which account on TradingView do you recommend to start? Um, the cheapest one is what I use. The one that's like 14 bucks a month. That's all you'll need. Thank you much for your parent service and your time tonight. I appreciate you, Becky. Thank you so much. And yeah, Dimitri, big Apple guy here, Apple Stan. But if there aren't any questions, I really appreciate you guys and your time. I appreciate it all. Pineapple def belongs on pizza, especially with pepperoni and jalapenos. Yeah, Becky, I'm not coming over for dinner. I'll tell you that much. But I appreciate everybody. Thank you so much for showing up. All the kind words. Appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Hope to see you guys in your names again soon. Hopefully, I gave you some clarity. But other than that, thank you, thank you, thank you. Be safe, be blessed. Get you some rest tonight. Um, Brian, it will be recorded. Yes, it will be recorded and sent out to you guys, I believe. Um, but yeah, other than that, appreciate you guys. Class is dismissed. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you. You guys have a good one. Bye.